So, how did the Filipino migration to Hawaii possibly impact the Hawaiian Sugar Plantation Association during 1906 to 1980? Background context. So, in 1906, the first 15 Filipinos migrated to Hawaii for the reason of being needed as workers in sugar plantations. Filipinos positively impacted the association by boosting their economic system. And since they were more referred to than any other plantation workers, it resulted in an increase of population and a well-bonded relationship with the association. Finally, the popularity of Filipino workers increased sugar plantation lands around the islands of Hawaii. It was cheaper to import Filipino laborers and at the same time sold sugar canes for more the price. This shows that they did not have to pay as much, resulting in not using excessive amount of money just to get them to work in Hawaii. In addition, having cheaper workers that harvest sugar canes and get sold for higher prices means more profit since less money was actually getting spent. Also, Hawaii's economy was dominated by the owners of big sugar plantations. And since Filipinos worked in sugar plantations and those lands dominated the economy, it meant that they were the foundation that made the Hawaiian Sugar Plantation Association earnings increase, leading sugar plantations and Filipino laborers as their main source of the rising economy. Filipinos created a surplus that led the HSPA to not increase wages. The association found a way to not force themselves to pay Filipino workers the same wage as other ethnic groups. As this may seem bad for the Filipino laborers, it was an efficient way for the association to conserve more profit. Filipinos were an alternative labor to use against Japanese workers who were staging strikes. The reason why Filipinos migrated to Hawaii was because of the Japanese strikes, and this allowed an opportunity for the Hawaiian Sugar Plantation Association to find temporary replacements, which were the Filipinos. And since Filipino workers were so liked, it led to an increase of their population. In addition, Filipino laborers were cheap, non-intelligent, and unmarried men. This led the association not wanting any smart workers to work for them because they might end up like other ethnic workers that realized that they were not getting paid enough than other native workers from Hawaii. They also did not want married men because that would lead to distractions from work. Finally, in 1930, Filipino workers outnumbered the Japanese in the sugar plantations. That is significant because the Japanese were the second most popular plantation workers, and passing that population showed that the increasing amount of Filipinos were more referred workers than them. Since other sources of labor were eliminated, an increase of 6,000 acres of cropland appeared as Filipinos worked. As other jobs diminished, but the ever-growing community of Filipino laborers were increasing, so were sugar plantation lands. This proves that there was an association between the two and led to positive impact to the Hawaiian Sugar Plantation Association. Lastly, sugar plantations were the second largest pieces of land in 1980. As you can see, the magenta-looking color represents sugar plantation lands around Hawaii. By 1980, the growth of Filipino workers stabilized with their families also migrating with them. This led to creating more lands of crops of sugar so that excessive amount of Filipinos were allowed to work. This also meant that the HSPA were increasing their expenses but making more times the profit. In conclusion, the increase of the Filipino population led to improving Hawaii's economy and creating a well-liked bond between the association and Filipino laborers. Finally, it allowed sugar plantations to increase around the islands of Hawaii. These all positively impacted Hawaii in 1980.